Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Bounded By. Today we have a special guest, and not just any special guest, a 7-time national champion, a GB representative, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. No, I'm joking. It's Horny Harvey on. How you, my brother? You alright?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. So what I want to do, just to start, I want to get a real sense of who you are, what you like as a person in your family life. Let's start off there, your upbringing, your family, and talk me walking into your first gym as a child.
Yeah, so I come from one of 3 boys. I mean, you would have seen the younger one about here, Louis.
Yeah, I've seen Louis a few times.
Yeah, so we come from like a very boyish household. My mum loved all her like football, boxing. So we was in every sport from an early age.
Okay.
And there's not a massive gap between us all. There's like 2.5 years between us all. So,
all right, so you're all relatively similar
yeah, kind
in
of
age,
close. Yeah. So the other 2 exceeded in football straight away. They done well. One, like Louis used to play for Arsenal. He was there for like 6 years.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, he mustard footballer, really good footballer. And the middle one was just as good, but he was a little bit lazier. He was. I don't know if you met Finn, but he's
I've probably seen him when we was younger at shows.
You would have seen him
like that.
Yeah. He had a few amateur fights. He's the only one out of all of us. I mean, he only had 4 fights, but he's undefeated.
That's all right.
That's his claim to fame.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we was always doing sports from a young age, and then we eventually landed on boxing. Cause my old man used to box. Didn't do nothing crazy, but he reckons he had about 13, 14 fights for Popular Boys.
Okay,
so
for Popular Boys, yeah.
And he always loved boxing. Growing up, it was always on the telly. Mm-hmm. So I was doing karate at the time, so I was going through the belts and that, and I enjoyed it, and I was doing all right here. And he said, "Why don't we have a crack at the boxing?" I don't think my mum was super keen for us to, because I was the first one as well. And then my dad took me down Repton. We was down the lane in the brick lane, the markets on a Sunday.
And we
was going down there. There used to be mob down there, and my family grew up around that sort of Bethnal Green area.
Yeah, just like mine.
Yeah. So we went down there, and he went, "Oh, let's pop into Repton." And I was like, "Oh," and I remember walking in there, I must have only been about 7, 8 maybe. Walked in there, gaff stunk, that sort of like...
The real rusty boxing smell, yeah.
And it was chocker of all boys, absolutely chocker. And I can't remember what coach it was. He said, because my dad was like, "Oh, we're interested in starting to box." And I can't remember who it was. It must have been young Robbie Beck, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But he, one of the coaches said, "Oh, we're super full at the minute, maybe come back in a few years when you're sort of carded age."
Yeah.
So 10, 11. And we was like, "Okay, cool." And I didn't think much of it. We found out, and then my dad found out there's a club near me called Gator ABC.
Yeah.
And it used to be in Wanstead Rugby Club, so it's not too far from where our house in Essex was. So I ended up going down there, same thing, but on a lot smaller scale.
Yeah,
same smell, you had, it was when Tony Sims was in the gym as well, with all the pro fighters like Darren Barker, Lee Purdy, that sort of era. I went in there straight away, jumped straight in a beginner's class. Same day I walked in and had a look at it. Loved it straight away. I was like, "Oh, this is a bit of me." Sparred the next time, so as in the Thursday or whatever it was. Yeah, second lesson sparred. Okay. And then after that, I got moved to the Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, because it used to be Tuesday, Thursday for beginners, and then Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
So you got put in the amateur setup?
They just chucked me in the amateur setup straight away, and I was only 9 or 10. And I was just bordering on 10. Yeah, so I was on 10, and I was there for about 2 or 3 months, and they carded me.
Okay.
I wasn't ready. I was
about to say, you must have had some form of natural talent.
I had a bit, obviously, because of the karate background, but it's non-contact, or it's very light contact.
Yeah, semi-contact.
So, now all of a sudden I'm whacking people as I'm supposed to be whacking people as hard as I can in the face. And I started off as an orthodox, because I'm right-handed. Okay. So anyway, I was finding me way boxing, and my dad was like, "You know what, just give it a crack, let's go." And my first fight against a geezer called Danny Hedges from West Ham.
Yeah.
And then that is when all things took off from there. But apart from that, I mean, in terms of it was always going to be boxing for us. It was always going to be some kind of contact sport. All of us are in boxing now. My dad still loves it. My mum like loves to watch it. Yeah. She doesn't like us fighting, but she would never tell us no.
Yeah, so not to.
She knows she can't, I suppose, as in like we're just going to do it. Yeah. But yeah, and that's sort of how we got into it.
Okay, so we've spoke about your family life, your brothers, and starting at Gator. Let's hear about more of your time at Gator.
Yeah, so that was a good time at Gator. We moved, so we was at Wanstead Rugby Club, and I had my first 3 fights as an orthodox. So I boxed a geezer from West Ham, geezer from, I'll never forget him, geezer from Sandy ABCs, like Bedfordshire.
Wow, okay.
And then a fella from Swanley ABC. So I don't know where that was, but
Swanley.
Is it Swanley? Was it Swanley?
If it is Swanley, Swanley's just past Bromley.
Something like
just
that.
Just going towards that way of Kent.
Something like that. Lost all 3 of them. Split decision, all 3 of them.
In orthodox?
Straight away, in orthodox.
Okay,
bang, bang. But at some point in those fights, I switched southpaw. At some point.
What, just naturally?
Just naturally, switched southpaw and done all right. But then obviously coaches are going, get back in orthodox. Is what I do. So anyway, it was more of a confidence fit. I was 25 kilo as well, my first fight, 25 kilo.
Saying that, I'll never forget. Obviously, you remember my brother Sam. Sam's first fight against Conor Coggill at the Prince Regent. Samuel was boxing at 21 kilo, but he was 19 kilo. My dad had to put socks, phones, everything.
So, mad story about Sam. Sam actually, so when we was doing gym shows, you know, like we used to do them at the Lion Boxing Club, and Sam was at the Lion.
He was.
I had my first gym show with Sam, but he had all the kit on.
Oh yeah, my dad had pug,
Coxie, he had the lot. And I was like, what is that? I've been here 5 minutes and I'm fighting this geezer. But I've got it on video.
Oh, you've got it. Please.
So it's in the garage somewhere in Abridge, but I'll show you it. As in, I ain't seen it in years, but I remember all we done was just circle each other for the whole thing. Just circled each other like that, one way, the other way, and then we'd come in, you know, like Beyblades, come in, throw one shot, and then we're back out, and then fucking circling. But yeah, I remember looking at him and shitting myself, you know, thinking.
Because he had all the gear.
He had all the gear. I had this little pony BBE set on, you know, like that my old man just bought us, but like boots that I was training in as well. I'd been boxing for like 2 months, and I was like,
obviously the fella that owned Pug at the time was a very good friend of my old man's, and then obviously my dad got him. Just remember, for a little while, England wore Pug.
Yeah,
that was through. That was through my dad. He got him the.
Oh, nice! The contract with him,
Yeah, but let's digress because we've gone over to my brother. Let's go back onto you. So you've had 3 bats as an orthodox, then you changed to a lead hand southpaw.
Yeah, so what happened was I actually got injured. Like I had a niggle in my left arm, like my left wrist.
Okay, so lead hand.
Yeah, my lead hand, my actual lead hand. So they was like, you know what, just switch it. And my dad was a right-handed southpaw, so he said, have a crack southpaw, because your jab's one of your most important shots. Like have a go and turn southpaw, and that was it. And then I went on about 4 or 5 fights, like I won, and then they went, have a go to schools. So I jumped into schools, won the first fight, and then I ended up coming across a geezer called Albert Lee, who at the time was like 30-0. He was doing really well. Him and Archie Sharp were part of Elton Boxing Club, Elton. And they was doing really well. They was like tipped to win everything, and they was just undefeated amateurs, which was mad, you know? So I box Albert, and I'm well out my depth, as in like I lose the fight. You know, first fight I lose unanimous decision, right? And I did lose. I got the video somewhere as well. I lost that one, and after that I was like, oh, like, what am I going to do in terms of like, I thought that was it. I'm a southpaw and I'm unbeaten now.
So then you took your first loss.
Yeah, so I took that loss as a southpaw because I just started to find my confidence. Took the loss as a southpaw, and after that, I went about 6-7 years undefeated.
Oh, wow.
Didn't lose after that. As in, that was it. That was the last one. I ended up boxing him again in the schools the following. No, was it after that? Was it schools the following? Tell a lie. I'm on the wrong thing. That was the first year of the schools. Second year I boxed him again in the schools and beat him, but I lose in the semi-finals. So the schools is obviously like start at 14, 15 and 16. So I lose that one. So now I'm on the hunt for national titles. I'm thinking, wow, I could actually do all right here. Second year I boxed Albert Lee and I beat him, who's just won the previous year when he beat me.
So you're thinking, I'm going to do it this year,
I get beat off an absolute wild card.
Because you're overconfident.
Overconfident. But to be fair, we was in Guildford. I boxed a geezer from Guildford, and
sticky one still.
It was a funny one. I believe I won that one. It was tough. Amateur's funny because you know what decisions are like. They go here, there, everywhere. So I've been on the good end, I've been on the bad end decisions, so I don't really moan. But looking back, I would have liked to schools. You know, it's the only one I didn't win. Anyway, third year comes around, same thing happens. I box a run of like really good fighters, beat them all. Come into the semis again, semi-finals again. I box a random kid who I've never heard of. Never heard of. I think the kid's called Larry Murphy, right? And he was about half a foot taller than me. I remember thinking that's weird because I'm massive for the weight.
Proper NPC.
Yeah. And he outpoints me, beats me. And to be fair, it was close, but I think he won. He ends up winning, so he ends up winning the schools. So everyone who beat me actually won eventually. After that, that was my 6 year undefeated. Went into the juniors 3 times, CYPs 3 times, GBs thingy, just won everything. Won absolutely everything. And that was it then, didn't really look back. And then I suffered a really silly loss when I was boxing at Gate. I was ill and I boxed at the Regent, Prince Regent. Boxed a fellow who's actually, but a fellow who's doing all right as it happens. His name was Billy Polkinghorn. He was like the journeyman of amateurs. You know, you had them geezers that just fight everyone.
There's a few still in the game now. You see him like, your record is mad, but you'll get in with anyone. I've got to give you that. Yeah,
60, 70 fights when he was 14, 15. 50-50 record. I remember like Mason Smith comes to mind for me, like Finchley boy. And then
he moved to Israel.
Yeah, that's it. So, you know, like there was loads of boys like that who've done that. And they never really won anything. Like, as in they didn't get that thingy, but they boxed everyone.
Yeah, they didn't care. They're getting there, stand toe to toe with anyone.
Yeah. So anyway, and then that was a sort of run of national titles. Once I won that first one, that was it. Sort of won everything.
Let's talk about that first one, then. Let's talk about the run. Let's talk about how you drove and motivated yourself this time to get that over the line.
Yeah, so obviously they was calling me the nearly man at Gator because that 2 semi-finals,
the bridesmaid sort of thing.
Obviously, it was exactly so close, and then
but never the bride.
Never the bride, exactly. So anyway, this the last one I done, which was actually my last ever tournament at Gator, was my first national title. Junior ABA's come round. I'm boxing. I'm on the bag. And I've had like dislocation knee problems because I had a fight with I broke up a fight with my younger brothers and ended up having the kneecap taken out and caused a lot of damage on the IT band. Managed it now, but at the time we didn't know about rehab or something. I just got straight back in. I'm on the bags. I'm 2 weeks out from fighting a Repton boy called Reggie Thrower. Right?
Okay. Reggie Thrower.
Reggie Thrower.
Jesus, what a name.
I know. Southpaw, game as, skinhead, wanted to take me head off, you know, like, and obviously Repton, there was always a stigma around them, you know, like,
you're a Repton.
You know, you've got to have a scrap with them, So anyway, I'm 2 weeks out or a week out, something like that. I'm on the bags, last round, cooling down. All of a sudden I step back, leg goes one way, knee goes the other way, bang, like that. I'm on the floor screaming, right? I still talk to boys in the gym that are in there that was in that session, you know, some of the older boys, and they're like, I can hear the scream and see see the leg, you know, like go like that. And I was like, oh God. So anyway, the ambulance come in, the knee's still out, I'm screaming. They pop it back in for me, right? They managed to get it back in. Whereas the first time I'd done it, they couldn't get it in. I had to go to hospital.
But this time
they went bang. So I was assuming I was gonna be there for 3-4 hours while the knee's out. They pop it back in within like 30-40 minutes. So after that, I'm like, the trainer at the time, Mark Lopez, he was like, do you wanna carry on? Do you wanna jump in this fight? I said, mate, like, what can I do? So I'm on crutches now. So I've got a week to go. He said, whack a knee band on, let's have a session, see if we can do it. I put one of them big, hefty ones on, you know, the strap-ons. Double strap, feels okay, no pain. Find out that I'm not allowed to wear that in the fight. I've got to wear a slip-on, you know, like
just a normal slip.
Because I'm not allowed straps or Velcro. So I put the thingy one on, but I'm nervous because I'm like, mate, if this knee comes out again, I'm going to be screaming in front of everyone. You know, like, this is embarrassing. So, and I know I've got a hard fight. So anyway, I turn up at the venue. It's in Gants Hill somewhere. Jump out, end up nicking the fight on like a split. Close fight, nick it. I'm on the thing, but now I'm on crutches coming out. You know, I'm in bits, like knees gone. So I'm like, how am I going to fight? So hopefully I get a walkover. No one's at 46 kilos. Surely I'll get a walkover. Next fight, I've got 4 in the weight. So I've got to do the double, fight 2 in one day. One from Nemesis, one from like Lion or something like that. And now I'm like thinking, surely I'm not going to get a run of 7 or 8 at my weight. You know, like Northeast did, London did, pre-quarters. I get one every single go. I'm thinking, right, I've got a week off. Surely I need a week off to recover. Like, give me a thing. Next fight, pre-quarters. Next fight, quarters. There's someone in your way. Semis. And I was like, surely not. Like,
especially your weight.
My weight, there's no one about. And then for some reason, it was just a run of. So I boxed 8 times in that whole thing. And the 2 times at the London was when I started to get a bit of confidence, back again, because I had a really easy fight. The geezer shouldn't have been in there, to be fair, for the first one. Warmed me up for the second fight.
Yeah.
And the second fight was tough. He was a tall geezer. I'll never forget his name. It's mad how you remember these names, isn't it? From like this long ago. Georgie Day, his name was. And he was a right good scrap. Beat him. Moved on to pre-quarters, boxed Larry Murphy, who had beat me in the semi-finals. Almost stopped him, as in a couple of 8 counts in there.
Yeah.
Went on to the quarters, boxed a fella that, again, in my opinion, shouldn't have been there. He got lucky going through like the home counties. Because obviously we have the toughest draw coming through London.
I mentioned it.
So.
We'll mention it in a few of the podcasts so far. I go back to my dad. My dad always says, back in them times, not so much as now, but you get through the Londons, you're
on the way.
there.
You're on the way, exactly. Because like you say, North East Divs, you're looking at West Ham, Repton, Newham, all the boys was in that one. Then you go Londons and you got the rest of them, all of them, the Dow Youths, the Finchleys, so many good clubs and so much quality around.
Yeah.
That if you get through quarters, pre-quarters, semis, normally all right.
Yeah.
Finals, you get some Bertley boys, you know, like them kind of Northerners that are game
the Liverpool boys.
You get some good boys there. But if you get through that first bit, like you say, you're on the way. And so got through, ended up getting to the final, boxed the kid whose old man was like I don't know if he was a famous pro, but he was quite good. I think he won like a British title or something like that. Ended up boxing him dead close in Kent. Dead close. Video is on YouTube somewhere. Right?
We'll find it.
Yeah.
And if we do,
close.
there might be a little clip stitched in somewhere.
Yeah. And dead close. I remember thinking, mate, if this don't go my way, I can't complain. Like, and it went my way. That is it. Went my way. Majority decision. Nicked it. After that, no one come close. Championships. Boxed maybe 2 or 3 times as it should have been at my weight. Like 2 or 3 times, no one come close. Won everything back to back. But I'd moved to Repton after that. That was when the Repton move started.
Yeah. So why or how did the Repton move happen?
So I won that title with Gator, and obviously a lot of the time there's a bit of a stigma with people. They're like, why would you leave the coaches, the thing that have got you to that national title? The problem was sparring. Like, and you speak to anyone in the amateur scene, you cannot beat Repton for sparring. You won't beat it.
Yeah, of course.
People come in.
I'll never forget. Remember going there and then sparring and start at 7:30. Sometimes you won't leave till near enough 10 o'clock at night.
It's mad. It's
It
mad.
was
Boys
mental.
lined up around
the whole way round the whole ring. Bob, this one, that one.
that one.
Sometimes you're staying in for like 8-9 rounds.
Yeah. But you couldn't beat, and not just rounds, quality rounds.
Oh yeah, quality.
Everyone there's national champion or on the way.
On the car sport,
mate. All of them put like lovely boxers. So I went down there. Kelvin Wing made a joke at the last at my national title win. He said, "Oh, you'll have to get down Repton. Like we have to poach because my old man used to like mess about with him, saying they're just poachers.
Yeah.
Which obviously they're known for that, but they're not poaching as such. People go there because of what it is.
Because of the name.
Yeah.
Because it's football reference. People still. Man United ain't won that for years, but the name holds weight enough to still.
Yeah. Exactly.
Bring you over, sort of thing.
So yeah, it was one of them where I was like, you know what? And I remember sparring one time at Gator afterwards, and my nose got cracked. I was sparring someone like 25 kilo heavier, and I got cracked. You know, like nothing heavy, but the weight difference was mad. My nose splattered, and I don't mark, I don't bleed, or very rare. My nose splattered across my face. I was like, I can't do this no more.
Yeah, I'm sparring someone 25 kilos. Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? There's I was only 15 at the time, 14, 15. And I sat down with my coaches at the time. Gator, and I said, look, I'm gonna go elsewhere because
I haven't got the sparring. I ain't got
the sparring. And I remember they did say that they would take me out and stuff like that, but it's a lot of work for someone, and also I had my heart set on Repton anyway. Yeah. And then I went there, and then that was it. That was the end of the Gator journey.
Right. So we joined Repton. You've won your first national championships. So you walk in. Obviously, you've mentioned Kelvin. obviously Tony, God rest his soul, is the head coach of the whole thing. But who was your main coach? Was it Kelvin or
Bobby Beck?
Bobby
Bobby
Beck,
senior.
Okay,
So I got on very, very well with Robert Beck.
Junior.
Yeah. So as in terms of, I loved his pads and he got my style. He understood it.
He understood your style, the way you like to box.
Yeah, and he was really. I loved having him in the corner because he was that calmness that Bobby Beck might not have had. You know, like Bobby had the knowledge, he was on ya.
Yeah.
But Robert had that little bit of calmness about him, more so than Bobby. I had Bobby in my corner for the whole way through up until Robert took over for my corner for a few fights. And then after that, do you remember Gary McCarthy?
Yeah, of course.
Gary McCarthy. And then Lee Ballard. Do you remember Lee Ballard? Ballard, right? Yeah. So Lee Ballard actually trained me for my senior one. Because when I turned senior, Repton seniors at the time had no one my weight.
Was you there with Tony Griffiths?
Nah. Yes. No. I just missed him. I just missed him because he was West Ham, wasn't he?
He's West Ham now.
Oh, he's West Ham now.
Yeah.
No, I was there with Tony. Yes, I was.
So Tony. Obviously, Tony was who I was with for the last year when I was at.
Tony got my style as well. Yeah, Tony understood my style.
Everyone I see that talks about Tony says he's the best pad man.
Yeah,
he gets it.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. But yeah, he was there. But he was more in the background because obviously Bobby and Robert was the head coaches in there. Tony Burns obviously was walking around just giving his criticism.
Yeah, and as going further into your career, the dementia would have started setting in with.
Of course, but I actually think, and I mean, I don't know if there's any way of checking this. I mean, unless anyone knows of it, but I'm pretty sure that I was the last fight that Tony Burns cornered in Liverpool for my senior ABAs.
I'll ask my dad, mate. If anyone knows anything, the old man will know that.
Yeah, because he did. When I come out, he didn't give me no water in the corner.
He drank more water than the boxers, didn't he?
He didn't give me no water, and then Gary McCarthy took over for the semis and finals.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that, and I knew that he was a bit rough. That the dementia was kicking in from then, but just before then. But he took the corner. He wasn't going to take the corner. He took my first corner against Galal Yaffa.
Oh wow.
So and that was the last I ever see Tony do a corner. So again, I don't know, not too sure, but I remember Tony wasn't even doing corners up until then. And then he done that one there, which I thought was strange, but it was great because it was like, mate, I got to experience that because Tony never done my corner, ever. Yeah. And I never see him do many corners. But yeah, so that was the start of, that was all the coaches I went through there. But Lee Ballard actually come down out of his way. He wasn't a trainer at Repton.
No.
He was a Repton fighter, wasn't he? Yeah.
Boxed for England.
And he sparred me. He got me down.
Because he was a lightweight himself.
Yeah. But he got me ready for the senior ABAs because I was going to pack it in. I was ready to go. I'd done all the national titles. And I was ready to go into the city. I was going to be a broker. I was going to go up there because my uncle was a broker. I'd been speaking to him about that.
You see the money and you were like, right, this is...
yeah. I was ready to go. Yeah. And school was finishing up, GB was one of those things I'd actually, I'd done England camps for when I was a junior. And there was something going on with the AIBA for some reason where I got picked for the Junior Europeans, first ever international tournament with the likes of Ted Cheeseman, who else was there? Tommy Welch, all fighters that I'd done these camps with. We all finally got picked for this massive tournament. 2 weeks before, gets cancelled. That gets cancelled for some reason. I was 16 or whatever. Heartbreaking. It was in Amsterdam or Rotterdam, something like that. Okay. Gets cancelled. So after that, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even. Don't even fancy it.
Done it now.
Boxed it because I boxed because I was good at it. I carried on.
Yeah.
And then I'd stopped boxing for a bit from that gap between sort of 17 and 18. And then just before I turned 18, I remember I went down Buckhurst Hill to spar, to go and see some of the boys, Lee Ballard, Danny Happy. Do you remember Danny Happy as well?
Did you know they're half brothers?
Half brothers, aren't they? Yeah. So, but Danny's, the reason the connection was there, it's a bit long-winded, but the connection was there because my dad's mates with Danny, because both of their boys, my brother and his brother, played for Leyton Orient.
Oh, okay.
So then they got.
So then, yeah.
So then we got thinking. Danny was like, "Come down Buckhurst Hill, have a look at the sparring," and it was all like the old school boys. Was sparring down there, and I jumped in. Just had a go, and he was like, "Why don't you have a crack?" Lee said to me, "Why don't you have a crack?" And I was, funnily enough, there was a geezer there who took the piss with me, I don't know who it was. One of them took the piss a little, way bigger, and caught me. And I remember I got out and he sunk me up the body or something. Or didn't drop us, but you know, like he took the piss.
You felt,
jumped up.
Yeah.
Lee Ballard jumped in and levered him from it. And I was like, oh mate, like it was wicked. So that's the first time I met Lee.
Yeah.
And Lee was like, what do you reckon about like giving it a crack? And I said, oh mate, I'm kind of done with it. He said, mate, you're too good. Have a crack at the seniors. And I was like, oh yeah. And he was like, I'll train you for it. And he come down every other day, trained me down there, sparred me for it, got me ready for it, and got me in good nick for it, as in out of nowhere. Jumped in there and had a really good run for there. But he couldn't be there. He couldn't be there for my corner. Didn't have a lanyard. Didn't have the accreditation. Just done me a favour, got me ready, and then the boys took over. Which was what he.
So we've still only actually spoke about your first. So your first national championship with Repton was
the CYPs. So
CYPs.
That year, so they normally run them alongside, don't they? Juniors will be September, December, whatever, and then CYPs in March or
whatever.
Around that, like. So CYPs had a dead easy run. As in no one, I think, was around it that way. Ended up boxing the final for Repton, won that on points, and then just carried on. Next juniors.
So juniors, CYP. Let's go through them. You got your juniors. Your
won
first
that.
One.
CYPs won that. Won the Tri-Nations after that.
Tri-Nations, yeah.
Then same again. Year after, bomb. Juniors, thingies, and then the last year, same again. So 3 years round.
And then the seniors.
And then the seniors after that. Yeah.
So during your senior run, any notable names that you boxed through your run?
So my senior run, my first fight as a senior was Galal Yafai, who's obviously he's well known now. He won the Olympic gold for 2020. Doing really well as a pro, as it happens. Not doing too bad. Comes from a good fighting family as well. Yeah. So
I did message one of their brothers to see if he's going to come on.
Yeah, Cal maybe.
Yeah, probably Cal.
Because he done the.
What was
world champion,
the stockier one called?
Gamal.
That's who I've messaged. Gamal. Yeah.
I think that's what it was,
Yeah.
He done all right. I think he won like European and that. It was a good fight, like
good. Loads. They was all on GB. GB.
So anyway, boxed Galal, and Galal's coming up through through their family. He hasn't done too much. I think he won the novices and stuff like that. So he hadn't had a lot of bouts at the time. He had a few, but not many. Same style, come forward, southpaw, try and tear your head off. And that was my first fight, and I won that one, unanimous. That was a good one. And the next day, I draw Ollie Simpson, world champion. He was on GB at the time.
Samuel lost to him in the junior ABA finals.
Yeah, good fighter.
Yeah,
good
fight.
Good point scorer. But funnily enough, the reason he was in that, because normally GB don't go in them tournaments.
No.
But the reason they was in that, because it was 2014, and the year I decided to do the senior ABAs was the year that GB put all their fighters in, because they wanted to do it as a tournament. The winner gets to go to the Commonwealth.
Okay.
In Glasgow. So they done it as that, and obviously we're all shitting ourselves now because every weight's got someone good. So like even Branch, like James Branch, who I come up with on Repton, he got Warren Baster in the end, in the final. He got beat, and he was like a Team GB veteran. He would never have been in the national championships because they're kind of past that. They're in the national fights, so they don't go in them. But there was everyone. I mean, Jack Bateson boxed Charlie Edwards in the final.
Yeah,
that was the fight after me.
Yeah.
Mad.
Charlie Edwards was at Repton at the time.
Charlie Edwards was at Repton at the time. But again, he was at Repton, I think it was more for the
name.
For the name. He was. I never see him in the gym.
Yeah, never see him in the gym.
Because he'd done his own thing. He'd done a lot of his own thing. And he was on GB. Yeah. He was on GB full time. So you just needed the club to be affiliated to, I think. And Sonny was at Repton at the time, funny enough.
Yeah. Tony worked a lot with both of them.
Both, yeah. And then, but all that for Josh Kelly was there. Josh Kelly, Sam Maxwell boxed each other that tournament.
See, do you know what?
Mad tournament.
Personally, even if you're boxing for GB, you still should have to prove yourself and enter the
national championships,
senior elites. Because look, at the end of the day, that is the pinnacle of our boxing in this country. So even if they get seeded the way they used to do, so they'd never do their home counties, they'd get thrown in the quarters or whatever, but they should be entered in it. That's just my opinion.
Well, that's actually a good argument for that as well, is when you get on GB and you've got a few mustard boys in the same way, how do you send which boys to which tournaments? How do you pick?
Well, what they used to do,
Box off.
do you remember the GB box off?
Should box off, but they stopped that.
Yeah, I know.
So
I went to, it was the one in 2011, Liverpool, Echo Arena. There was a few good bouts.
Was that Selby and Yafai when they boxed off? For 2012, maybe.
Maybe, but I remember Charlie Edwards versus, his son now boxes for Newham, a little short fella from up north. I got him on Facebook, but his name's his business company. But them two boxed each other. He beat Charlie. I remember Bradley Saunders.
He was good, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was boxing someone, and I had never seen a shot like it. He hit this fella up the body, and you heard it in the whole arena. And then the fella go and just fold. Oh yeah, that was Buglioni versus a go-go box off.
Yeah. See what I mean? Like,
well, look at the names we're pulling out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that. And then after Buglioni lost, his dad come in and changed him. That's it.
Yeah.
You're going pro now. You're not gonna. And then he went pro and done what he does as a pro.
Yeah.
But let's divulge and get back to you.
Yeah. So so that year, 2014, they chucked all the boys in into this, all the GB boys into this national championship. So that's why I ended up boxing Ollie, because Ollie was the pick for the 49 kilos. Ended up beating him, so I won that decision. So now I'm in the final, and they're doing these Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know, like all in one shot.
One weekend.
One weekend, and then I end up boxing a fellow who done really well as a pro, to be fair, Thomas Osumba, in the final.
Okay, yeah.
And he's the way he actually cut me there, to be fair.
Is that what gives you the Harry Potter?
He's the only one that cut us on with a punch. All the others have been heads, head clashes and that. You see the shot, it was on Sky, funny enough, they put it on Sky. He swings a left hook over, bomb, and then clips me. Don't look heavy, but the cut just went bang. Like that.
Yeah, it just unzipped.
Yeah, I remember thinking, mate, it feels a bit weird. It's the first time without head guards. They scrapped head guards that year.
That's when they scrapped head guards, yeah.
So obviously, and then ended up winning that, and then that was it. After that, then I got my GB call up, and then everything went rolling, and I was on GB within the next couple of months. I didn't get selected for the Commonwealth Games because they put in the women's weights. So the way they worked they took men's weights out to put women's weights in. Instead of just adding the women's ones in, it was something to do with funding.
Yeah, they didn't have enough funding.
Yeah, so they had to take 2 weights out. And the 2 weights that they took was me and Josh Boatsy, 81. 81 kilo. Me and Josh both won that out of nowhere.
You fuming.
So me and Josh both win
that. But maybe they took them 2 weights out because you weren't GB boys at the time.
No, that's what I mean. So when we was going through the thing, but we was going through, they called it Commonwealth training camp once it was done. So I was
selection sort of thing.
Yeah, it was kind of selection, but we'd all sort of qualify, like we'd all been secured at them weights. So me, Charlie was 52, Kez Ashfag was 56, Caldina 60, you know, like 64, Pat McCormack. 69 Kelly, Josh Kelly, Fowler 75, Josh Boatsy 81, 91 we had a fella called Lawrence Oswecki. Do you remember him? And then 91 plus was Joe Joyce. So solid squad, you know, like. But me and Josh Boatsy just come into this like we shouldn't be here. Everyone knows each other. We've just won the tournament. It was only 2 boys that weren't GB that won the tournament. Yeah,
that's probably why your weights got taken out.
Yeah. So. Funnily enough, what happened? Do you know what happened as well? Because we thought one of us would have a chance, because 69 was the only other weight Scott Fitzgerald went for GB, but he didn't win. He lost. I think he lost in the ABAs, but for some reason he got selected for the Commonwealth and he won. I think he won, and then so then we couldn't complain really. Yeah. But then after that, me and Josh obviously gutted. The excuse was that we weren't experienced enough, and our argument was, how are we going to get experience if you ain't going to put us in?
If you ain't going to give us the chance.
Yeah. But again, like you say, it does make sense. But like you say, it worked out for the best. Like we kind of fit in where we did fit in the end. Like we went on a winning streak. Me and Boatsy, we won quite a lot, and we got sent to the same tournaments. We won the same medals. We went to Macedonia together for our first tournament, both won gold. We then went to Hungary, both won gold there. Funny story there, mate. They took the piss. They give me, so 49 kilo, obviously the first weights. I'm the first one that boxes every day. I win, they give me a medal, and this little, I'm not joking, it's this big, this little vase, right?
Yeah.
Boatsy wins, and then everyone else who won after that, this is the vase, like that big. So I go to the organisers after, I'm like, look, this is a joke. They said, oh, we ain't got enough. I said, why my weight then? Why my weight? Obviously, because if anyone kicks off, they don't care. Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, the small guy can have the small vase.
Yeah, they'd rather
because they'll look big in your hands.
They'll fend off all the big boys. So I was like, yeah, you know what, fair enough. Yeah, the Boxeye Cup, it was a good tournament to be fair. Boxed some good names there. But that was the start of the GB journey then.
Yeah.
And then, but that's how I got there through Repton.
So, right, now, let's talk about, you mentioned it, your GB journey. So, you're going up to Sheffield, how many times?
So we started off once every 2 weeks. So Thursday to Sunday, development squad it used to be called. Now it's called Podium Potential, I think. Yeah. Development squad up there. Obviously we're buzzing. We've got all our tracksuits. You know, when you used to see the odd boy in the championship and the GB one.
I'll give you a funny story about GB tracksuit. So my dad and Samuel go up GB for a photo shoot. He's come back. My dad's buzzing with the tracksuit, whatever. Yeah. My mum said, have a look at you, it don't even fit you. And at this time, I'm smaller than my dad, whatever, so my mum's, give it to Michael, right? So I've gone out for a run this day, and as I've come back from going for a run, my dad's gone, oh, come with me, I just got to pick up Samuel. Not telling me we're going West Ham to pick up my brother. I've walked into West Ham. Luke Saunders took one look at me.
Oh, you got the tracksuit on? Yeah.
I've got the GB tracksuit on. Luke Saunders took one look at me. He went, I'm not even going to do the accent. He went, oh, I can't even keep my vest. He's got an old tracksuit.
You couldn't get hold of him, could you?
And then I just went, I'm going to sit in the car, Dad. And sat in the car. But go on.
Oh, wicked. Yeah, but like I say, that was like, as an amateur, to get one of them vests, to get one of the England jackets, you was like top. You thought you was the man. I
had a red vest and I had a full tracksuit.
If you had one of them, like you say, mate, everyone thought you was the man.
Yeah, of course.
So then me and Boatsy obviously getting kitted out. I remember we was like, this is the start of it. We're probably looking for the 2020 cycle. We got on at 2015. Yeah. Anyway, I have a fella called, I have Ollie Simpson there. He quits boxing. Just quits.
Yeah, just randomly.
Randomly quits, right? I was like, all right, sweet. Like, it was fine. Now I'm the only one there, bar a fella called Ashley Williams. But that's actually a nice geezer from Wales. But within a few weeks, I was able to have like fend him off. It was clear that I was going to overtake him.
You was above him, you was that bit.
Yeah, he was a bit older as well. And if he wasn't getting the best of me at 18, he was never going to get the better of me. So now I'm the number one there, and Boatsy kind of does the same thing at 81 with, there's a fella called Lawrence, he kind of just quits mysteriously. Now Boatsy's in the thing, so me and Boatsy are quite linked to our careers because it leveled out all the same. So he's just a little bit older. And then we get on there, so we're thinking 2020, we're midway through 2025. All of a sudden, WSB comes around. Do you remember that?
I was gonna, if you didn't mention, I was gonna bring it up.
So WSB was a great
funny
concept.
enough, on Vinted, someone was selling a WSB.
I've got so much
track
WSB
jacket.
gear.
No, give it to me, old man. It was my dad's size. You know what I mean? Because he didn't get one.
The British Lionhearts.
So I got him the British Lionhearts jacket off of Vinted. I only paid like 12 quid for it.
Mad, isn't it? Yeah. So the WSB was a World Series of Boxing. Basically, it's like the Premier League of boxing, where every country got their own team, and they boxed home and away.
But couldn't you have like?
You could transfer.
No, but you could have thingy, couldn't you? Pro bouts as well. Some pros
only
were
later on.
Oh,
only later on. Yeah, they did introduce that. They was like to kind of gain an edge because they started paying people like it was a pro. Because obviously it was a cross where no vest, but 10-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
No head guard and 5 rounds instead of 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So it was a real cross between them. And our team was called the British Lionhearts. And me and Boatsy had the first few fights for that. And I boxed a geezer called Jose Velasquez. It was one of the first losses I had in ages. And Mexican. He's obviously come in. I've looked at him and was like, he don't look like much, but he's been around the block, you know, like. And I remember Rob McCracken, who was the performance director at GB, said, you'll do him, you'll be all right, because Ashley Williams was just on the way out. He'd lost like 2 WSBs, and they was like, right, draft him in. The number 1 at the weight goes WSB. So I was like, sweet. So me and Boatsy kind of get drafted in at the same time. I get in there, I get levered. You're cool in front of everyone, right?
Yeah.
But I'm game, as in I stayed in there.
You're proper, that's your home ground
That's
as well.
what I'm
Like,
I got everyone there.
You got the whole family, the old mobs there.
Everyone there, I got birds there from the
Yeah,
school.
goals.
I've told everyone because I'm jet setting everywhere. I'm fighting in Hungary, here, there. Everyone thinks
it's like
I'm
a little celebrity.
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm a superstar now. So I come back, I'm like, yeah, come down there. I got Mexico, gonna smash the life out of him. Got out there, my face was a mess. So I just,
you know what, the Mexicans and the Cubans back then.
Tough,
oh,
mate. So yeah, that was mad. So anyway, I lose that one. And then after that, I box another 3. I box Algeria, I box Ukraine, and I box America. I beat all of them after that. It was all right. But he was mustard. I think he's doing really well as a pro now. He could be, I think he might be some kind of world belt he's got. He's really good. But yeah, anyway.
Box him again.
Yeah, do you know what? I would now because I'd like to see how his power holds up now. You know, like, see, but he was like 25.
Oh yeah,
and I was like 18.
Young.
I was fresh. I'm trying to point score him, and he's just head on me, roughing me up, pulling me down. And the refs were like pro refs. They weren't amateur refs. They split straight away.
Yeah, they weren't letting you.
I was. Yeah. Soon as we get close, normally I break, I hold. And
they're letting you have a tear up.
They're letting you have a tear up. And obviously for me, I'm like in no man's land.
Yeah.
I mean, he's head on me, roughing me up. So anyway, he, after that, it kind of, but a great fight for maturity, you know, like as in after that. And then we get sent to a few tournaments. I get sent to the European men's fight in, tournament in Bulgaria. Okay. So now we're at the end of 2015. I'm in the #1 spot. 2016 Rio's looking like a real possibility now. We're thinking, mate, me and Boatsy both go, a major medal, so a European or a Worlds or an Olympics, are like they up your funding on GB, and that's when you know that you've got a good chance of your world level. I go in now, win silver, get beat off of the Russian in the final, who's world #1. So I'm in the mix. Cool. This is it. Boatsy gets a bronze there, funny enough. So he boxed a really good fella in the semi-finals, a Dutch geezer. So anyway, a few of us won gold that thing. Pat McCormack won gold. Pat McCormack won silver. Joe Cordina won gold. Muhammad Ali, do you remember him? Little 52 kilo boy, he won silver. We done really well. So anyway, the Worlds come up next. This is the next big one. Now this is where you really tell, because you've got everyone in there. Everyone in there who could be going to the Olympics for 2016. We go in there, I get the worst draw possible. I get India first, and the Indian at my weight, he's at Commonwealth silver. He's been around the block for years, right? Lashram, Dervan Lashram, something like that. Mustard. Right?
It's like getting Mario Kinderland, isn't it?
Yeah. So as in I get him, and then if I beat him, I've got the Russian who I lost to next, right? So I'm like, I was like,
after that, up here.
After that, I've got Philippines, who's Rogan Layden, who's again another mustard boy. After that, Cuba.
But at that level, it's
But I also had some boys on the other end of the draw who had like Ghana, Estonia, you know, like those kind of easier ways through.
Yeah.
But everyone's tough because they've qualified to be there.
Yeah,
so everyone's tough. But my one was just a nightmare draw. Like straight away. And GB as a whole got a terrible draw. Like all of us had unreal boys. And the only one who medalled was Joe Joyce. He's the only one. And he got robbed in the final. He got
so he got silver.
He got silver, yeah, he got robbed in the final badly. But yeah, so I beat the Indian. Beat him. Get rid of the Indian. I'm thinking, I've got a chance here. Russia next. I was like, come on.
Your old mate?
Yeah. So he beats me. He beats me on my birthday in Doha in Qatar.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. See you later, mate. Beats me. He ends up getting to the final, and he loses to Cuba, but he beats Cuba. He beats Cuba all day.
Somehow Cuba
nicks it, but he beats Cuba. And anyway, so they've the first two, so #1, #2 finalists qualify for Olympics now. So they're gone. So all the tournaments in the run-up now, I'm not going to see them again until I qualify. So obviously, the later you qualify, the easier it is, but you're running out of time. And the good boys have gone. Yeah. So that was the final qualifier I had done. So there was the Worlds. Because after that, Galal Yafai gets on the squad. And then this is where like a little bit of controversy. I think Galal Yafai is such a nice geezer. But obviously, we're in competition together. Every spar's like a fight. You're trying to like take each other's head off, to prove that you're thinking.
Who's the top dog?
But again, he's only had about 3 fights for GB at this time, and he hasn't won them all. He's like won 2, lost 1. I've had 30, 40 at this point. So I've had a few. So anyway, ends up coming to January time 2026, and that's the race is on, like to qualify. The next qualifiers in March 2016. 2016. The qualifiers are on now. We've got 2 more chances. The next one is a European one, and obviously I've proved that I'm #2 in Europe. Yeah. So, and it's like the first 6 places qualify. So I'm like, this is a done deal.
Yeah, I'm
just
going
need
to
to
get
go.
there.
Just need to go. I go to Miami, I box in the WSB against a fella called Hernandez, and he actually won the Olympic bronze that year. So a good fighter. Beat him, easy. Hometown, I'm thinking that's me done. Qualifiers come round, I have a tournament, I go to Finland or Bulgaria, one of them, and I have a shit fight against a Korean, right? And Korea are not known for their amateur boxing.
Right?
This geezer's the most awkward string bean I've ever seen, right? Ends up beating me on a split.
Do you know what that is? You notice when you see a boxer, you know what to do. Samuel, in his first pro debut, he boxed this geezer, was throwing windmills, and you see, you don't. How? Because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I know.
It's just one of them.
You kind of sink down to their level.
Well, it's like when a top Premier League team gets drawn against a League 2 team, they half relax and because they don't know what's coming.
Yeah, it's exactly the same in boxing. Yeah. And I'll get beat there and have a nightmare, and then that was it. And that was the excuse why they didn't send me to the qualifiers. I sent Galal. Galal ends up qualifying. Obviously has quite, I'm saying, an easy run. He didn't have an easy run. There was a Spanish fella who was decent, who was in the run. But again, they're qualifying the first 4 to 6 people, so you've only got to get to the semis / quarters, and you're in. Yeah. And that was the beginning of the end for me. That was 2016. He goes to the Olympics. I go to Rio with them as a sparring partner. Yeah. So I go for a month over to Rio. To help him prep.
Yeah. So you got all the Rio kit, but you didn't.
Got the Rio kit, didn't get to box, mate. It's a nightmare. But obviously, it's heartbreaking. It's great experience, but heartbreaking at the same time. Yeah. So anyway, he actually loses in his first fight, I think, or his second fight, something like that.
Yeah, he lost quite early.
Yeah, he lost early, but I think he had a shit draw. I think he boxed Cuba, maybe.
Yeah. Back then, boxing the Cubans, where they weren't allowed to turn over.
Yeah, they was animals. Yeah. So anyway, and then 2026, so we sort of see that out, a few tournaments, a couple of WSB, again, like a Ukrainian WSB, I win. And then I go to 2017 starts, and then I get sent to I'm now considered the number 2 position, because Galal has been to the Olympics. Still, I'm way more experienced, but he's considered the number 1.
Because
the experience is gone. And it makes a massive difference going to the Olympics, like the experience of it, being in the village, it boosts you up massively on your global profile as well.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
So now I'm thinking, what am I going to do to get back on number 1 spot? So I actually say that to Rob McCracken. I'm like, how am I going to get back in contention? He said, well, there's a under 22s European Championship coming up. Tough fight. Obviously, after the Olympics, everyone's back. Everyone's in. Under 22s, but for some reason you can be 24 and enter. It's like under 24. It's weird. It's a weird concept. Yeah. They sent me to that in Romania. He's like, look, if you win that, you're back on thingy. I was like, sweet. I go in there and I win it. So I was like, right, sweet.
I'm back.
I'm back. I go in 1 week, or about 2 weeks after that, I go back. I got my bag back up to Sheffield, because I'm living up there now, Monday to Thursday. I go up there with my bag. I go into the office to put my expense form in. Put the expense form in, and every tournament we get sent a letter. So it basically says, like, dear whoever, you have been selected to this tournament. It's just like a formality. Yeah. Basically. So we know we're going. They've told us we're going. They just send it. So the next tournament coming up is like it was the World Championship. So not a qualifier, but the World Championships, major tournament. Obviously, number 1's going. I'm thinking that I'm going to go. I walk in, I'm filling my expense out. I see a letter on the desk saying, dear Galal, you're going to the World Championships, the Worlds. So straight away, I pick up my bag, I go home. Yeah, I go home.
Storm out.
In a sulk. Yeah. In a sulk. Again, did I warrant the number 1 spot? I'll always make an argument I did, but you never get a chance to box off, you never get a thing.
If a man's give you his word, you win that, you're back at number 1, then that should be enough.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. But again, as a kid, am I reading into it going?
No, I know. But then obviously he might have gone to the Olympics, but you've got the experience. It always
I deserve the shot. Yeah. I've been there long enough to deserve the shot. That was.
There's always politics in GB boxing and things like that.
So that happened. I stormed my go home. I never go back.
Yeah,
never went back. No. Rob phoned me up and I said, look, mate, I know I'm just going to be banging my head against a brick wall, trying to get in front now. I'm too far behind. He said, no, you got 2020 coming up. He said, you're young. You don't want to turn pro because there's no money in it, which it's kind of true.
Oh yeah. Unless you've done
done Olympics. Yeah, that's what I mean. So I was like, I've got a good amateur pedigree. I'll get a good trainer. I'll get a good thingy. But I wasn't interested in turning pro. I weren't interested. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and crack it again. My head was like, let's see what I can do in the finance world. Try and break through stockbroking or some kind of route that led me.
Brings you money.
I'll be honest. I'm quite very motivated to earn money. Money.
Yeah.
So, and I know, obviously now being a bit older, I know that that's obviously not what matters. But that for me at the time was all I wanted. I just wanted to crack it and be super success. Success for me was earning loads of money. So yeah, I just thought going up the city. That's it. I'm gonna crack it up there somehow. But yeah, so anyway, I had about a year off maybe after that, and then someone approached me and said, "Are you still boxing?" Like an agent or like a sports geezer. Can't even remember his name. He said, "Do you want to go pro? Do you want to go pro?" I said, "Not really. Like, I'm not really interested." He said, "Oh, I can fix you up with Mark Tibbs." I said, "Oh, has he asked about me?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, how's this come about? Like, how's this come?" And obviously, I'd know Mark from Jimmy from years on the scene. He was like, "I can fix you up with them." I was like, all right, sort the phone call out. Went down there once, that was it. Turned over. But yeah, and then that was the end of my amateur journey. After that one reading the letter, no
that
more.
Was it. That was it. So you've had an absolute storied amateur career. Now you turned pro what year?
2018.
And then you have...
End of 2017, yeah.
Okay, and then you have a run of, what was it, how many, till you took your first loss, it was 9? Or?
Nine,
Yeah, you had 9. And then it was you and your brother billed to be at the York Hall. The last time that it was brothers billed at York Hall would have been Kevin and Vinny.
Yeah.
And then you take on a boxer from...
like Tanzania.
Yeah, somewhere in Africa. Yeah. And funny enough, not blood, but my sister Sarah takes the corner.
No way.
Yeah, from West Ham.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, she took the corner. She said she had him for a couple of weeks, but yeah, she took the corner.
Mate, so that geezer there, the mad story there. So I'm on a run of like you say, 7-0, 8-0. I won a WBO European in a few fights before. I'm with a new promotional company. I'm headlining.
Yeah.
I'd actually started work in the city teaching, like to a place called a place in Mayfair.
Okay.
And I'd started coaching and teaching classes there.
Yeah.
And the workload was mad. Like we was killing. Especially the geezer who run it as well. We was getting killed, run into the ground. And that's no excuse. I mean, I could have at any time said I'm going to take a step back and focus on the pro stuff, or if I've got a fight coming up. There was nothing stopping me doing that. And it's very easy to assign blame. I could say, no, I was worked into the ground. But the reality was I was fucked. I had no energy. I've been in the gym maybe, for that 10 rounder fight, I've been in the gym maybe 4 or 5 times, like sparred twice. For a 10 round, it's just stupid, like.
Yeah, you did.
But I still think I'm the man. I still think I can get in there and do 10 rounds.
You didn't take it seriously.
And then I have a few opponent changes. And then this geezer comes up, my jihad, right? And I was like, he can bang. He's got a not so great record, like 20 wins, 15 losses. But he's been in with the best, and he's not getting stopped. And he actually boxed Andrew Selby a few years ago. And if you watch the fight, it looks like he almost beats him. Right? This when Selby was at his prime.
Yeah. Selby was something
mustard
special,
fighter, right? Mustard fighter. So anyway, we get in there, and I'm on 3 weeks worth of training. I jump in there. I look at this. Mark sends me the geezer, and he's like, "Are you sure you want this geezer?" I said, why? He said, he can't make the weight, so it can't be for the belt. So he can't do flyweights. You're going to have to do like bantam or whatever it is. Yeah. And I was like, he's not that big. Like, he don't look that big. I get there, I look at the scales, and when I get there, he's not that big. I'm like, mate, he's not big. He's ripped, but he's not big. The day of the fight comes around, I look in the opposite corner, he's like this, tank, right?
My sister Sarah got him prepared.
Mate, he's a lump, His eyes are flashing red, that I can see he's coming to kill.
He wanted to kill you.
I have 3 good rounds, energy goes whoom, like that, energy gone. 2 burst eardrums, fractured rib, like just giving away too much weight for one.
Yeah.
Too much experience at that stage. Yeah. I needed someone. And again,
I tune up.
Yeah, I needed but I also needed someone to pull me back or pull me out and say, you ain't fit. Yeah. But that's easy to say because Mark, like my trainer at the time, Mark and Jimmy Tibbs. Hindsight, it's easy to blame.
You was at the Peacock at this time.
We'd moved to Raynham.
Oh, that's when you
But again,
moved to
so
Raynham.
I moved to Raynham, so I'm not going there because I'm working in Mayfair.
So I
and I'm
remember
like-
when you was at Peacock, you sparring with brother.
Yeah, so I used to spar Sam all the time. I used to spar Sam all the time while he was here. But for fights that I was getting ready for.
Yeah.
This one I weren't getting ready.
You weren't. You done 3 weeks training.
3 weeks training,
Look,
not even that.
I said it in every podcast. We don't play boxing. You can play football.
Exactly.
You can't play boxing, or you get found out.
Yeah, and I did get found out. I got found out heavily. And it was one of them where it was like, do you want to carry on if you can't do... And I'm at that stage, I was at that stage of my life. I'm 26, 27, and I'm like, 25, 26 maybe, where I'm starting to earn a couple of quid. Do you want to... And from boxing, I've never earned no money. Bar
Do you want to
GB.
carry on getting punched
Do you
in
want
the
to,
head,
for no dough, and on this gamble that you're going to someday succeed?
make something of it, yeah.
Or go the way where you know you're going to do all right.
Yeah,
Maybe not hit them heights, but you're going to do all right.
Yeah.
So you're at that crossroad, and that's a tough time to be a boxer because I'm one of the lucky ones where I always tried to have a plan B.
Yeah.
Most boxers are no plan A, boxing only. And I think you need... It's hard because it's something you love and you want it to succeed so bad, just like every other boxer does. But the reality is, less than 1% of you will.
Yeah.
So, and even the ones that do ain't going to earn a few quid. Yeah. Especially in my weight, mate. My weight's tough. I know world champions that will be skinned within the next few years.
Oh, I watched an interview before where Tony Bellew was a WBC world champion, headlined at Goodison Park. He said the only thing that made me financially stable
David A
was beating up David A twice.
Yeah, that would have been it.
And that's it. His old woman was like, "You've done it now. Stop." He went, "No, like we don't own our own house. We don't." Unlike football, if you're a world champion at football and you've won the World Cup and that, you're laughing. Yeah. Boxing, you give everything, and
you could be a championship player at football. I know the championship wages for the footballers, and you're living unbelievably well.
Me and Harry was talking about someone that was playing for Bromley, playing last night.
What league are they?
League Two.
To League Two. Is he getting 2 a week? 3 a week?
3 a week. My mate.
That's without bonuses.
Yeah, my mate Aidan played for Millwall for years. He's now got his little football academy, but let's divulge. Yeah. So then you've lost that, you're at a crossroads, you're thinking, do I go down the business route when it comes to carry on with the PTs and all that? Yeah. As we know, you're still doing well with your PTs and all that. But now you're with Sam here at Churchill's. I'm not going to mention upcoming fights. We know, we'll just say there's something big on the cards, but what made you then go, do you know what, I am going to carry on with professional boxing?
So after that, I changed trainers, but only because I couldn't get to Raynham no more.
It's too far.
Couldn't get to Raynham no more, too far. And obviously I went down to, funnily enough, and I knew Mark, I knew he didn't want to put the time in if I wasn't going to be there. Because like I say, it was heartbreaking for him as well. I remember when we was in the changing room after that loss, I could see what was so upsetting, not just that I'd been done in front of all my fans, was that I could see the people that was gutted for me. And that's just as bad, as bad. And I remember Mark brought it up to me weeks later, kept bringing it, he's like, "Oh, your face afterwards, it was just horrible, heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Because Mark's from 21, Mark's mentored me up into his thing. So I could tell Mark didn't want to do whether he would say it or not to me. I knew that he wouldn't want to put the time in if I'm half-hearted, like most coaches would.
Yeah, of course.
So I moved locally, and I'm still living in Abridge at this point in Essex. I go to RJ's, Rod Julius. So I go Rod. Rod's now training my younger brother at this point, Louis. So I was like, you know what, give it a try. Let's go down there. Got on well with Rod. And then, but again, my work life was clashing. I wanted to get in there. I wanted to do it, but I couldn't make that decision. I couldn't make the decision of give it all to boxing and put that on the back burner, and I couldn't find a balance. That's the problem. Whereas now I've got a balance.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see a balance. I was like, there's no way I can do both. It's too hard. It's too taxing. So anyway, managed to find a balance at Rod's, kind of, but still all over the gaff.
It still wasn't 100%.
End up going to Texas, fighting in Texas against a much heavier kid, undefeated kid, and beat him. And that was kind of for me like a test of shall I carry on? I was like, should I go down? Because even at Rods, I didn't go down to Rods that much for that fight. I'd done a lot of my own work, so a lot of my own strength and conditioning. Louis held the pads for me, so we really like just made do with what I had. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a proper crack here. So by this time, I'm now living in Canary Wharf. So I'm now can't get back to RJ's, can't without going here, there, everywhere. I'm not driving because everywhere I walk everywhere, I'll get the train. So I'm like, what shall I do? So anyway, end up from Canary Wharf, I moved local here. So I move into like the sort of
surrounding
Mayfair area.
areas.
Yeah. So I move up to West London. Now I'm like, right, I need a coach. Because I said to Rod, I said, look, I can't get back. It's too much. Rod understood. He still manages me. I said, Rod understood. So I said, where should we go? So I'm speaking to Ruth, she was like a amateur GB girl. She had 100 odd fights. Ruth. She's a great fighter.
Samuel worked with Ruth at Fight for Peace.
Exactly. Yeah. So Ruth, one of my best mates in boxing,
amateur boxing. Yeah.
Because we was both at that Mayfair gym I was talking about.
Oh,
that's how I met Ruth. Yeah. So Ruth, I said to Ruth, who's about? Because she's a boxing encyclopedia. She knows everything about it.
Do you know what?
She's a real nerd.
If you can get her on there with me,
she'll 100%
I'd love to do it.
She'd love to do it. She's great with anything like that. I know amateur story is fantastic because she got it when women boxing wasn't massive.
Yeah.
She come up and she's got such a good take on all these different things, and she loves amateur boxing.
Ruth, we got to get you on there.
Ruth, yeah, you got to get on there. So so Ruth says to me, Sam Mullins, go here. I was like, oh, what do you know? She's like, I used to box with him at the Lynn. I was like, boys. And I've seen Sam for years on the scene.
Yeah, on the circuit,
And funny enough, anything I remember of Sam Mullins at amateur shows is him kicking off. He's always kicking off at judges. That's all I remember of Sam. So I was like, oh, it'd be interesting to go down there.
Yeah.
Ruth goes in, I do one session, I was like, sweet. I walk here from home, from work, because I'm still working in Mayfair.
The old site or this site?
I'm at a new site now. Oh no, this site. This site, because I weren't here for the old one.
Okay, so you have only been here for about a year.
Yeah, this is about a year, if that.
Yeah, since it's been open.
Yeah, since it's been open. So my first fight with Sam was at Chelsea Football Ground? Yeah, Chelsea Football Ground.
The one I come to?
The one you come to, yeah.
Up the Chelsea.
Yeah.
It was good to watch me make box at the Chelsea. Yeah. But do you know what? When you told me you was boxing at Chelsea, I thought, it's the end of the season, maybe it's on the middle of the pitch.
I knew it weren't going to be in the middle of the pitch.
If you've ever been to Chelsea, when you go to get your pints at half time, the food court, it looked like he was having a tear up in the car park. It was hilarious.
It was that. So I was told, originally it weren't supposed to be there. It was supposed to be, they've got a huge, what do you call it, like an events room, you know, like in there. Yeah. It's supposed to be massive, 3,000 people or something they can fit in there. Because Chelsea, it's at Stamford Bridge, you've got a club underneath it.
Yeah, of course, you've got everything. You've got a hotel adjacent.
It's massive. So obviously, I'm assuming, or I've been told that we're fighting in the event room.
That bit.
I walk in there, same as you. I walk in there in my bag. I'm thinking, yeah, but as soon as I walk into the concessions bit, I'm like, the ring's there. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm fighting in here. I was like, no way.
Do you know what? Funny enough, obviously you give us free tickets, so we got the standing tickets.
Yeah.
Me and my dad, we sat in the VIP and just didn't move.
Yeah.
And then, because we was there from the start, no one
amateur
even checked
start,
us. But mate, if I would have paid...
Was you in there from the start? Did you stay till the end?
Yeah. Oh. If I would have paid...
$250
to stand.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I would have left.
Yeah.
No offence, I love my club, but there's no way I'm standing there.
Yeah, so it was a funny layout because it was table seating for the VIPs.
Yeah, round the back. It was weird. It was quite far away. It wasn't. It was
strange, wasn't it?
Wasn't the best venue. Yeah. So obviously we can't say too much. You got a big fight coming up. Tell everyone where they can find you on socials and everything. Yeah,
so I'm mainly on Instagram. I hate Instagram, but you need it. So I'm at Harvey Horn. Harvey Horn on all my socials, Twitter,
lovely.
Instagram. Not on Facebook no more. I ain't been on Facebook in years now. The notifications was getting on my nerves. You know, a lot of things I just got rid of it. But so my socials there. And then the next one will be early October.
Okay.
That'll be announced.
Keep your eyes out. He'll be announcing it soon. I can't spoil it because we'll probably let this out before the announcement. But please keep your eyes peeled. Big things to come for Triple H, and he's not fighting John Cena this time. But lovely to have you on, brother.
All right, thanks for having us, my man.
Pleasure.
Hey, give me that drop there.